Hello, welcome to A Novel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and wife, Karen.
My brain is still on work, and I thought you were going to say cohort instead of co-host.
What's a cohort?
A cohort is like, the dumb way to say it is it's a group. It's a group.
What?
A group of students.
I
don't know that it's
students?
specifically a group of students. My brain is done for the day, but I thought you were going to say my cohort.
Okay.
That's it.
It's
I am a cohort.
9:21 p.m. And the way that you feel, I feel as well, because I'm working a massive project at work, and my back hurts, and my everything hurts, and I just want to go to sleep, but I also want to play video games.
I am in the busiest time of the semester until like April, and in the middle of all of that, I am planning to go on a cruise and to Disney within less than a week of each other.
Let's put a pin on that.
Yeah.
First, if this is your first time or 162nd time coming into the show, welcome. We're glad you're joining us for an episode of A Novel Console. We hope you stick around, have some laughs, and maybe find some new things to enjoy. If you want to reach out to us, you can do it on our socials, which is basically at A Novel Console on every platform, or you can email us directly at anovelconsole@gmail.com, or if you would like to support us, you could do it over at patreon.com/anovelconsole /novelconsole. I don't know if...
We don't need to debate the forward slash again.
It's just a Novel Console at Patreon.
Yeah.
You should, and that's us. Yes, it's $2 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
You should also tell your friends about the show, and you should review us wherever you can, because that helps us be more discoverable. And if you want to join our Discord, I'm dying. If you want to join our Discord, send us an email or go to our Twitter and look for the pinned tweet.
So, this is the first episode where we're trying our new recording style. So, a few days ago, we recorded book talk and games and stuff, and we're just going to stitch it onto this, and we're going to just record this intro and garbage because we want to make things easier on ourselves, and that I think that's going to make it easier. And part of the reason why we're doing it this way, and we're doing it now on Wednesday the 10th at 9:24 p.m. is because Karen is going on a cruise.
I am. Totally spontaneous cruise.
Tell me about the cruise. How'd that happen?
Oh my God. Literally yesterday morning at 11:36 a.m., one of my friends texted me and was like, would you want to go on a cruise this weekend? I was just like, oh, what the fuck? So, yeah, she and her family are going on a cruise, and my other friend, her sister, her spouse was supposed to go, and he decided to back out at the last minute, and he's already paid for and everything, so why not try to fill the spot with me? So I frantically asked my boss to have a couple days off of work. And thankfully, he's a very cool, chill boss, because I'm also off next week to go to Disney for a day. Yay. So it's going to be a crazy time. I wish I had enough PTO that I could just stay in Florida, not drive all the way back, just to drive all the way back.
The next day?
Basically, the next day.
You arrive back in Florida on Monday.
Monday morning. I won't get back here till Monday night because it's a 7.5 hour drive.
Go to work Tuesday and then
go back to Florida Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh,
and it sucks because I have a place to stay.
Right.
We always have a place to stay, but I can't stay because I gotta go to work. And I cannot, I know that I have the option to work at home, but I can't do that to him considering how much leeway he's giving me here, especially since I'm taking off a week next month.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to poke the bear. He's being super cool.
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. This is the first cruise you've taken in how long?
Since I was like 12, so 20 years.
You are going to have the time of your life.
I'm so excited. Even if I am rooming with a kid,
Eh,
her mama's gonna be there, so it's okay.
Right.
It's not like I have to take care of the kid.
right. And did they tell you how much the drink package is?
No, but I don't need to be
Are you
drinking.
sure?
I'm sure. I'm too old for that. I'm not in the greatest of health. I'm just gonna drink some water.
Oh my
It's
God.
fine. I'm not really into drinking, right?
You guys are gonna have a captain's night dinner, a captain's dinner or something, which is like a fancy.
I have a dress.
Okay, that's gonna be a fun night. I'm sure there's like the buffet and like all the restaurants and shit, but I think there are some restaurants that you actually have to pay to eat at. So if they want to go to those restaurants and eat, don't feel like you don't have to.
Oh boy. We'll see.
Okay, so I really want to go on a cruise soon. Since you're gonna get to go on this cruise now, don't limit yourself because I'm not there. Just go have fun, do everything that you want.
I wish you were going.
I know, I'm gonna go eventually.
Yeah.
It'll be me, Kiko, Jay, and Pedro going on a cruise without you and the girls. So
That's gay.
it's pretty gay. I'll share the bed with Kiko.
Oh my God. I don't know. The two of you would fit on a bed together.
It's gonna be the four of us, just
All
on a
piled
bed,
into one
all
bed?
piled up together into a queen size bed.
Wait, you said Jay and who else?
Pedro,
So 2 big dudes and 2 little dudes.
Pedro's like normal sized.
Uh,
Jay is definitely smaller than
Pedro is taller than Jay.
Yes.
I think that's the only thing he has.
At least it's not
different.
Efra, because Efra is longer. He's as long as all of us.
Oh boy. Will be an interesting bed arrangement.
I feel like we can make it work. We can just, you know how Luna.
Everybody little spoons. No, everybody's big spooning Jay.
Okay, so that you
He's the
guys,
little spoon.
so that you guys get an idea of what Jay looks like. Just think of Jay Baruchel from this is the end. Jay Baruchel. Just think of that.
Yeah.
Just think of that's what Jay looks like. So imagine him, right? Just like coiling like Luna does, like as tight as Luna coils. That's how Jay is gonna sleep at the foot of the bed.
Yep.
I'm gonna reach out there to Jay and touch him and see if he's still breathing,
Just like you do with Luna. Give him a little scratch behind the ears.
Kick the
Pick
shit
him
out
up when he wants to drink water.
right? Kick the fuck out of him because he scared me
Yeah.
while I was moving in the night.
Yeah. Wind up with him halfway underneath you and
Shaking.
trying to get out from underneath you.
Even though the listeners don't know who Jay is, just picture Jay Baruchel coming up to your face and going, "Burf." Oh, that's great. I gotta tell him to listen to that. That's a good one. Oh fuck, I gotta recover.
I love it.
But yeah, no, have fun on the cruise. Don't limit yourself because I'm not there. Honestly, I'm glad you're going, and I don't care. Just have fun.
It'll be a good time.
So,
Good time.
so next thing that I have is a few weeks ago, actually on December 25th.
Christmas.
Yes, on Christmas Day. I think I was alone here. Was I? Yeah, I was alone because you decided to go to your sister's house early in the morning. I tweeted on the anovelconsole Twitter. What do you guys consider must-play indie games? And I got a bunch of answers. I got a bunch of game answers. I do have a lot of these. I have Nobody Saves the World, Bramble the Mountain King, Inscription, Cult of the Lamb, Dredge, Vampire Survivors. So these are just like all must-play indie games that, you know, mutuals and followers have suggested. So Berserker underscored this, suggested a few. I added all of them to a list. Will from Friday Night Gamecast suggested Limbo and Inside. I got those two for like $1.25 each on the eShop, so I'm definitely gonna play those. your friendly neighborhood. Let me see. Your friendly neighborhood gamers suggested Katana Zero. I already beat that game. That game was incredible. So, and then Nave from Gaming Together podcast gave me Signalis, Inscription, Valhalla, Sayonara Wild Hearts, The Stanley Parable, Everhood. For Sayonara Wild Hearts, we did a 4-hour podcast over at Super Ghost Radio. We called it the Anti-Game of the Year Awards, and Nave gave a pretty good what's it called? Like he sold it to us. A pitch. He gave a pretty good pitch for it. And it's basically just like if you were to play through a music CD, a music album, but as a video game. And at the end of each stage, Queen Latifah will rate how you did on the thing. So it's like an hour-long music video that you get to play through. So I think I'm going to play that one soon. He also did mention that Signalis, which he has not shut up about on every episode that he has been for the past few months. So then I asked again on Twitter, since everybody gave me such good suggestions on the indies, to give me suggestions on games of all time. So let me see here if I can find a tweet, because I honestly just want to go through this year. Like, if I want to play games this year, like if it was my last year alive.
Oh dear. And
just play through all the games that I've never played and beaten. So I said, since you guys recommended some pretty amazing indie games, what are some must-play games of all time? Games that every gamer needs to play. And Dave Jackson gave me a bunch from Tales from the Backlog. Chained Echoes, Hollow Knight, Death Gambit, Signalis, Chained Echoes again, Blasphemous, Tunic, which I grabbed the other day, physical for Switch, Remember 64, Thomas Walks Alone, Oxenfree, and Fez, and then the pre-order bonus podcast gave me a shit ton more, with Vampire Survivors in there, Death's Door, and whatnot. So I am going to go ahead and add all of those to our personal Discord that you and I use for the podcast, so that I can keep track of who suggested what, so that whenever I play them, if we do like a little segment on them, like, you know, a games and stuff or whatever, I can think who suggested them and whatnot. Thrax said he was going to give me a list, but that bastard hasn't given me shit yet. So
you stop being mean to him.
I'm going to play Halo with him tomorrow night, so that's going to be
I'm not going to be here to
to defend
correct
him.
You. Yeah.
You know, it's funny that one day I yelled at him and I screamed at him, "You fucking bastard, you got me killed." He was dying on the other side. He was laughing so hard.
So mean.
He says it's okay. It's what we do. So for the listeners, right? If you're on Discord, if you want to join Discord, if you want to follow us on Twitter or whatever, and tell me what games of all time, what indie games of all time, what regular games of all time or whatever I should play this year, just join our Discord, tweet them at me. I know that our regular listeners are going to give me a bunch on the Games and Stuff channel. So please, I want games to play. I don't want to be sitting around and be like, I should play Star Fox again, and play Star Fox again for the 34th time, like I did last year.
Yeah, you need to take a break from Star Fox.
Right? I was driving from work today, and I was like, I should play Star Fox when I get home. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I got other stuff to play. I got, what's it called? Star Ocean to continue. Which I sat down to play it, and I was like, oh, I downloaded Xenoverse. Let me play Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse right now. I started playing Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse instead of playing Star Ocean. But it's a long, it's a weekend. Oh, shit. Was that was your phone?
That was my phone. Oops.
It's a weekend that I'm going to be alone here, so I'm going to play as much Star Ocean as I can. Because
we should be able to record that backlog episode when I come back on Tuesday. We're going to have to record Tuesday.
or maybe I'll figure something out with Thrak if we manage to finish Halo.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
So we'll figure it out. All right. Are we ready for book talk?
I'm ready.
All right. This is Book Talk.
This week's book is A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. It was published in July 12th of 2022 by Tor Books, and it is the second book in the Monk and Robot series, so the sequel to A Psalm for the Wild Built. I decided to make this my first book of the year because it's short and sweet, and I've been on a really good reading streak for the last 3 weeks now, by some miracle. Gotta, make up for lost time at the very end of the year.
Right.
/ beginning of the year.
At the beginning of the year.
So, yeah, I read this one in basically a day and a half, I think. I could have read it faster, but we've already gone back to work. So I actually finished it on my lunch break at work this week.
That kind of surprised me because I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw your story of your first book finished. I was like, oh, cool. Mm-hmm. Karen can now sit down and record it by herself.
Mm-hmm. And I've started, I don't really know that you can really full-fledged say that it's annotating, but I'm marking all my favorite passages. I started doing that a couple books ago. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of markings in this one. I can't say I enjoyed it as much as the first book. It's not as philosophical as that one. I also felt like it wasn't as funny as the first one. I mean, there were a couple moments here and there that made me giggle, but this was more, I feel like this one was more of a traditional novel where the other one was just so unique. I felt like this one kind of slid back into a normal book, if that makes sense.
How so?
It wasn't just pure weirdness and philosophy.
Philosophying.
Yeah. It was a lot of sibling Dex and Moscap going around asking people what they need and helping people with things that they need. And it was a lot less of them just having conversation and saying all these deep and meaningful things.
So it was they were doing their job.
Yeah, which kind of bummed me out because it was still super short. So I'm like, okay, there's not room for all of this deep, meaningful shit. There was some deep, meaningful shit. It just didn't resonate with me as much as the first book did.
And do you think there's going to be another book?
Maybe. I guess there's kind of room for there to be another one, but I don't think it's as likely. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe. Will I read it if there is? Of course. Will I probably give it 5 stars again? Probably.
You give this one 5 stars?
Mm-hmm. But, I don't know. Maybe.
So what was the big deal with this one? Because the previous one was these are the characters. What's this one's?
The big deal?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the big deal is just them kind of because, they were, a sibling Dex was struggling with having a purpose, basically. And, there was the whole thing about Moscap saying it's okay to just be. And at the end of this one, sibling Dex is still kind of struggling with that. But then they're also both kind of struggling with the fact that, they just kind of just want to be together. Not be together, you know what I mean?
Just keep hanging out together.
Yeah, keep each other company and not have to worry about what they should be doing. And just, enjoy each other. That makes them happy.
Right.
But accepting the fact that it's okay that that's the thing that makes them happy. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I still enjoyed it. It was short and sweet. Very easy, very, very easy read. But didn't leave me Like, it's not going to be a top book of the year, I don't think.
Not like the last one.
No, nowhere near the last one. But still very good. Like, it's just a regular 5-star book. It's not a favorite, necessarily.
I don't think that book was for you. Like, it was written with you in mind.
The other one was written for me.
The other one was. This one, I don't know. That kind of, we just want to be together and happy. I don't know. It feels like it might be for somebody that might be struggling with coming to terms that they should be with someone or whatever.
But it's not even like a romantic thing.
Which is weird.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe this is just like the growing pains of a series. Maybe there's...
I mean, it's not bad by any means. I don't want to imply that at all. It's just not super deep and meaningful. Or at least it didn't feel that way to me. Not as deep and meaningful as the other one did.
And you told me that Moscap got like a computer or something?
Yes, Moscap got like, they call them pocket computers. And they like email each other on them. So like I think of it as being like a smartphone. Mm-hmm. He was very cute because he discovered that he could download ebooks on his pocket computer. And all he wanted to do was read. And he would just like spout random facts at sibling Dex. Like, it was really cute. Really cute. And then there's this one part where sibling Dex actually meets an attractive person. They, like, Moscap has like a loose part or something. Mm-hmm. And they go to get it repaired. And Dex is like super attracted to the guy that's repairing Moscap's innards. And Dex winds up spending the night with this person while Moscap goes and hangs out with some old lady who is apparently addicted to porn books. So Moscap just like stays up all night looking at her porn books. And when Moscap sees sibling Dex again, it's like, oh, I guess you had sex last night. Because Moscap knows what that is now. Yep. Super fun.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny.
So do you think that there's going to be a robot sex scene in the next book?
Oh God, I hope not. That's not what I'm looking for here. No.
Was there any like graphic stuff about Dex?
No. I think they like shared a kiss and then it was closed door.
So your favorite type of romance?
Yeah. No.
But
with stuff like this, like that's not what I'm there for. You know, it would have been weird if it had turned into some raunchy sex scene. Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
I think I'm a little bit disappointed with this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's still very good, but it definitely suffers from like that second book syndrome.
Right. That Attack of the Clones fever.
Attack of the Clones fever.
Yeah. Or War of the... Whatever the second Star Wars movie was. That was really bad. The first Hayden Christensen movie. Episode 2.
The first Hayden Christensen one?
Yes. Episode 2.
Oh, it is episode 2, isn't it? Because episode 1 is with Qui-Gon.
Yes.
And little Anakin.
Yes.
Being the best fighter, pilot, whatever, as a child.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
That first Anakin movie was bad.
Yeah.
Was it?
Attack of the Clones was pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah. Like nothing happens throughout the first part of the movie, and then at the end it's like war starts, and that's it.
There are those slug things that come in through her window that scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, so it's like nothing happens throughout the beginning of the movie.
You say so.
So you gave it 5 stars?
I still gave it 5 stars. It was still very enjoyable. It's just, like I said, not a super standout favorite.
That's a book that the listeners can get soon.
Yes, because we're giving away both books.
Yes. It's going to be a Discord has been around for a year plus New Year's giveaway.
I hope that Barnes & Noble employee really liked it. I hope. We'll have to ask her next time we're there.
So we're giving the first one and that one away and Pikmin 4. We'll
Pikmin.
We'll figure out eventually what the details are to win that shit.
Yes.
Anyways, anything else you want to say before we go into games and stuff?
Read the books, even though the second one's not as good. I would love to know if you think the second one is better than the first one. I'm going to think you're crazy, but...
Should I read them?
I think you would really like them, and they're super short.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
I haven't read anything in a long time.
You can read the giveaway copies. Don't touch mine.
I'll read the giveaway copies. Slightly used, slightly greased.
I'm sure no one would mind them being slightly used by you.
Slightly greased by me.
Oh my gosh.
Lots of nieces and shit on it. All right, let's go into games and stuff. For this week's game, we have Pokemon Scarlet. Pokemon Scarlet is a monster collecting JRPG developed by Game Freak and published by Nintendo. It came out November 18th, 2022. I remember buying this while I was in California when I worked at the previous IT company.
It feels like a million years ago.
Right? And it's been like a year, it's been a little bit over a year since this came out, technically. I started playing this game because of your fucking brother. I put it on the backlog.
Was he supposed to be on the podcast for this?
No. I put this on the backlog of Doom, right? And it lost to Star Ocean, which we're going to get to soon. And he just kept telling me, oh, the DLC is out, it's so cool, I got these Pokemon I want to give you and this and that. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll just put it in. I bought the DLC, started playing it, put about 30 hours into it, and did everything that there was to do.
And complained about the music.
The music is fucking atrocious. It is horrible. It is the worst music I've ever heard.
Tell us how you really feel.
It is so bad. So bad. Like, there is one song that is somewhat decent. I think it's like the theme for your rival. The other kid that's your rival in Pokemon. And it's kind of like a gospel black church
Why
song.
it gotta be black?
Because they play like, the organs and that get, and like everybody's like, hey, like music like that. But then it's like going really good and well, and then it just kind of like shits the bed. And then it goes back in that loop of entering it again, and it's kind of like gospel-y and shit, and it's really good, and then it just shits the bed again.
Oh my god. I can't.
The music is fucking terrible. It is so bad. So anyways, your brother kept bullying me. He's like, oh, the DLC's out, we gotta go do these raids and this and that. And I'm like,
we gotta go do raids.
We gotta go do raids and Pokemon.
Oh Are y'all 5?
And I was like, all right. So I bought the DLC and I showed it to him. And he's like, oh, I guess you're just wasting money now. You're not really gonna play the game. And I started playing the fucking game just to shut him up. And every time I would do something major, like beat a gym or like gain an ability for my Pokemon, I would text him and I'd be like, I did this. I did this. I did this.
Was he so proud of you?
It got to the point where he stopped replying. So anyways, the story is you're a new kid at Pokemon school. You're going to Pokemon.
Don't you hate stories where you go to school?
You're going to Pokemon school.
Oh my god.
Right? You're going to go learn how to Pokemon at Pokemon school. Right? And then you meet a girl who's basically Goku, but a girl. Only loves to fight Pokemon fights. And she becomes your rival. And then eventually you fall down a cliff and you meet a legendary Pokemon who you don't know it's a legendary Pokemon who doesn't like to fight. And he becomes basically your motorcycle. And it flies and swims and everything for you.
What the hell?
Named Koraidon, because it's the red Scarlet version. And put your phone away.
I will.
And who are you messaging?
I'm looking at Facebook. I'm stalking.
Who are you stalking?
I'm stalking a wedding from yesterday, okay?
Put it away. We can stalk it after we're done. Anyways, so the Pokemon, it doesn't want to do anything, and then you meet another kid who hates that Pokemon, but he needs to get like these seasonings and herbs for his sandwiches that he makes so that he can heal his dog Pokemon that's dying. And then your dragon motorcycle Pokemon Koraidon eats your sandwiches, and he gains abilities and gets better. I feel like I got to the point where I was like, I don't care about the fucking story anymore. Let me just not read anything. Just keep pressing A and B, A and B, and B, so that
You'll just play.
Yeah, I just wanna play and fight Pokemon. Which, to be fair, it looks weird. It looks unfinished and kind of like broken and janky whenever you're in fights, but they're still the same Pokemon fights where it can be as sweaty as you want it to be. So if you want to get like really deep into it and like have like abilities that work off of each other or like build your Pokemon a certain way, you can. But most of the time I just got like these really high level Pokemon that your brother traded me, and I just fucking blazed through the entire shit, especially once I got the final badge. Because you got to beat like 8 gyms, and then you can go to the Elite Four, and then you beat them, and you become the champion of Pokemon. And there's also like some Team Star shit, which are the evil bad guys who are not really evil bad guys. They were just kids that got bullied in school, so they decided to fight back against the bullies by making Pokemon-powered cars to run them over.
What the hell?
And right, it's so stupid. Like at the end, you beat them all. And they're like, "Oh, we only did this because we're being bullied, and we just wanted to stand up for each other because we're friends."
Oh my god!
And the school director is like, "Yeah, if you don't come back to school, you're all getting expelled."
Oh boy!
And they're like, "Oh, sorry." So they go back to Pokemon school. It's so fucking bad. It's atrocious. It's the worst fucking story. So at the end of the game, like there's like in every Pokemon game, there's like this professor that's like the eminent authority on that region's like Pokemon and Pokemon studies and whatnot. And this one, it's a lady called Professor Sada. And it turns out that she died. Her kid didn't know that she died. So there's a robot that looks like her. And you have to fight her at the beginning, and the robot's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. I love you so much," to the kid whose real mom died.
That's so fucked up.
And like I'm like, okay, so that's kind of heavy, right? That's kind of like a little bit tough for a Pokemon game, especially for kids. But I personally don't care because I didn't care about these characters to start with. I feel like if the story would have actually like done anything to make this be anything I cared about, then I feel like it would have been better. Because I just feel like the story needs to grow up some. Because it's trying to do like some...
Well, it grew up too much.
It's trying to do like some heavy stuff, but it doesn't work. Because there's no... I don't know. There's like no weight to it. And so there's this really cool thing the game does where you can like throw out your Pokemon and it will go find Pokemon in the wild and fight them. And you gain experience points because of that. So it also makes it so that there's you don't have to fight like random Pokemon battles if you don't want to, because unless you want to capture the Pokemon, which is basically what I did. I would just go into a new area, catch all the Pokemon that I could see, and then just let mine roam around and beat the shit out of the local wildlife. So that they can get experience points. That was pretty good. I feel like that is a very smart move that Game Freak did so that the game wouldn't be as time consuming as it usually is.
Like beating up rabbits and stuff?
Yeah, so there, get your phone. I'm going to tell you the name of a Pokemon to look up. So look up Pawmi. Pawmi. And this is probably my favorite Pokemon of this entire game. It's
pretty cute.
Right? Do you want to know how tall it is?
How tall?
Okay, look over there at the Dragon Ball manga. You see Poor?
Yeah.
That tall.
Oh.
It's so tiny.
That's cute.
And like the thing is, this game it's kind of cool because all the Pokemons have different sizes. So like you can see like a Pikachu that's small, but then you'll see a Pikachu that's abnormally tall, right? And you would see that like this little Pommy just running towards it and just beating the fuck out of it, and then it would evolve and it would just get slightly bigger. I don't think it got bigger than 3 feet at the end of the evolutions. I just love that Pokemon so much. It was so funny going into a battle against a ginormous Pokemon and your little Palmy at the end, Palmot, just taking down whatever. So
hard to picture.
Yeah, like I got the starters. I picked Fuecoco, which is the fire crocodile, who's adorable on his first stage, and then he just grows so fucking ugly as he evolves. He just gets uglier and uglier. And as soon as I got the final one, I swapped them out, put Cyndaquil in my team, and then just ran a Typhlosion the entire time in my team. So yeah, I gotta say I did have a lot more fun with this game than I thought that I would. This is the first game that I've beaten this year, apart from Star Fox. And my notes after finishing it were, this game had the potential to be so much better. It did, because there were a bunch of really cool things that they did that I actually liked. I think it's time for them to add voice acting into the game, because there at the end of the game you have to kind of like go into a crater with a group of friends and they're all talking at the same time, and you have to stop and read what they're saying, otherwise you're not going to know that they're talking. So voice acting would have helped a lot there and in a bunch of other places. A more detailed world, if they would have actually put time into the world and made it more detailed, because every single fucking building in this world is the same. The only ones that change are the Pokemon gyms. And it's basically just like going into a doctor's office, checking in. Oh, go do this test. You go do the test, come back, you fight the gym leader, which is like visiting the doctor, and then you leave. It got so sterilized. It lost a lot of its charm by not being detailed. I did want faster load times between battles. Better story would have been, a more fleshed out story would have been better. And I did put 30 hours, and it didn't honestly feel like I put 30 hours into it, because I did have a lot of fun the entire time. Like at the end, I was like, holy shit, I did all the major things. And I gave it 8.5 out of 10.
It's not bad.
No, I really enjoyed it. I started the DLC, but I got Pokemon'd out, so I dropped it.
Pokemon'd out? Pokemon out.
Pokemon'd out. Like,
out. At first I thought you said Pokemon Doubt. I'm like, that's a weird sounding name.
Pokemon Doubt. It's like that fucking Master Ball at Books A Million yesterday.
What?
That I told you, like it. So there's this toy that's a Pokeball, right? And you press it, and it's like, oh, think of a Pokemon real hard, and I will try to guess it.
Right.
And I was thinking about Typhlosion, and it's asking me questions, and at the end, it's like, your Pokemon is Blaziken, and I'm like, no, and it's like, all right, it's Blaziken, and it just completely ignored me saying no to it.
How does Charlie know Typhlosion?
Does he?
He was talking about Typhlosion.
Really? What was he saying? I
don't remember. It was also when he thought that the Chupacabra was a Pokemon.
And was inside
thanks to you.
Birthday cake box. I'm going to keep bullying your nephew until he apologizes for ruining my Pikmin 4 weekend.
But he misted you.
I don't care. He ruined my Pikmin 4 weekend.
Oh, boy.
All right. You know what time it is?
I think it's time for garbage.
All right. That is Give Me the Garbage.
This week's restaurant is Mama Rita's. in Dawson, Georgia.
Margaritas.
Probably never heard of it, the restaurant or the town.
Definitely not.
So there are 2 Mexican restaurants in Dawson. One of them, did we garbage that place?
No.
I didn't think so.
It was so bad.
We
it was so normal.
It was so white. We went within the first couple weeks of being here to this place.
The first couple days.
Yeah, because Hunter was here the first couple days, and our waitress was so white. Chris asked her for an agua fresca, and she had to go ask our manager what that was. And she came back to the table and was like, "We don't have any, but we have wine. Like wine is anything similar to agua fresca." Anyway, so we've noticed Mama Rita's popping on several nights of the week. But we just haven't gone. One of us will suggest it, and the other one's like, no. So we finally fucking went this past Friday night. And that place was popping like crazy. And it did not disappoint.
It was popping.
It was popping.
But when we went in, there were 2 things that immediately caught my attention. 1, it smelled right. And 2, the food looked right. So I was like, okay, this might be good. And was it?
It was great. But we can get more into that after we talk about the actual food.
Okay. So go ahead. Start.
So we got Coronitas or whatever.
No, they were called Mexican Bulldogs.
Okay, we got Mexican Bulldogs.
Which is basically a Corona Rita.
Yeah,
it's Corona a margarita Rita, with whatever. A Corona in it.
I thought it was called a Coronita.
No, Corona Rita.
Corona Rita?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got those. They were great. They came with shots of Curacao.
Blue Curacao.
Which I thought was super random. I was like, is he trying to give us Windex? Like, what the fuck?
First, the Mexican Bulldog was massive.
It was huge.
It was humongous.
It was in a, like, gigantic beer stein. It was so big.
It was full of their homemade margarita mixer with tequila, and it had a full-size Corona bottle in it. A whole-ass Corona.
It was huge.
Right?
Huge.
And, like, more than half of the Corona was sticking out when he brought it, along with the shot.
My nose kept bumping it.
Along with the shot of Blue Curacao. Which we didn't know what it was. Honestly, I've never had Blue Curacao before. Had you?
Yeah.
You had?
Yeah.
So we took them as shots. And I personally liked it because it was fruity. Then it went sweet. And then it went kind of licorice-y, anise-y, that type of flavor.
Man, you dissected this.
It had a bunch of layers.
It was okay.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was fine.
I don't know if he brought it because we became besties,
Y'all did.
or if we were supposed to throw it inside the drink once we drank enough of it. But they're pretty good. So what's next?
Their chips and salsa.
Yes,
the salsa was very good, very fresh, very refreshing. It was very different.
It was
like
spicy.
It had a really unique flavor to it.
The salsa was so good that we didn't need to get guac and queso.
I kind of wish we had, though.
We will
next time. Next time.
I might go this week with your mom if she's.
No. You wait for me.
Be Friday, like you want to go to Mama Rita's.
You wait for me to come back.
Yeah, the chips and salsa were very, very good.
Very good.
I really enjoyed those.
I wound up ordering the San Jose burrito, which was chorizo and chicken, and it's like smothered in the cheese.
Okay, so
but it's also covered in that and sour cream. It was fucking awesome. It was really good. The chorizo was cooked really well. It had great flavor, but it wasn't like stuffed full of chorizo, which can be annoying sometimes just because it is very salty. It was like the perfect balance of chicken and chorizo. It was so good.
That was very, very, very good. The chorizo that they use is a very, very good quality chorizo.
It was almost like a choripollo burrito.
Pretty much.
Because now that I think about it, like when that stuff came out and it mixed with the cheese, that's what it was. It was choripollo.
Yeah.
Very good. And huge. Gigantic.
Yeah. So I got bistec mexicano.
I think so.
I think that's what it was called. It's basically just what was it? It wasn't in New York. It was a decent cut of meat. I can't remember exactly. I know it wasn't sirloin. It was like somewhere between sirloin and a New York fillet or whatever it's called. So they cook it in strips with jalapenos and onions, and they serve it with rice and beans and tortillas. There's one thing that I did see that I didn't quite like is that every single plate comes with, if it comes with tortillas, it's flour tortillas. So I don't know. Next time I'll ask to see if they have corn.
Yeah, I mean, well, one of the tacos that I thought about ordering came with corn tortillas, which is what turned me off. So you should ask for corn.
Yeah, definitely. Because I took the
Did you see how white that restaurant was, other than the staff? Did you see the patronage? Like, those people were white as fuck.
I was the darkest person there. They were getting up
at 4 o'clock in the morning to go deer hunting. I don't even know if it's deer season. But they were all getting up and going hunting. And then they gonna come home and watch football. Watch the dogs play.
I was the darkest person there, the darkest patron there.
You were.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, the steak was cooked perfect. The onions were perfect. The rice was really good. The beans was really good. The jalapeno beat my ass. Because I saw jalapeno, it's fresh jalapenos cooked in the juices of the steak, so it's like tasty and shit. So I put it all on the tortilla. I take a bite. I'm eating. I'm fine. I swallow. And then out of nowhere, I just feel like my whole right side of my face just starts acting up. Like my lip is burning. I didn't even touch the fucking jalapeno with my lip. My lip is burning, right? My eye is watering. My nose is watering.
You look like you were falling apart.
And after a long-ass day of work, too, of crawling under desks and shit to set up monitors. Right, so I was all covered in dust, too, because I came straight from work. I feel like it cleaned me out, but it hurt so much. Like, at one point, I felt my left side normal, and I felt like somebody was squeezing, like, pressing down on my right side of my face. It was so fucking good, though. I took out all the jalapenos and ate the rest. Because they didn't seed the jalapenos, so, like, all the seeds were left over the steak and shit. So I got, like, some really good spicy bites in between everything. It was very good. And one thing that I did like is that it wasn't, it didn't have, what's the spice that I hate? Cumin? Nothing tasted like cumin. So I was very happy with that. I really like this place. Next time we should get some dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Garbage, for sure.
Yeah.
It was great.
Place was a garbage. Mm-hmm. And Jaime was amazing. He was fantastic server.
He thought y'all were besties.
We're besties now.
You got to ask for him next time.
Of course I am. And what's funny is like I started ordering in Spanish and you're like, you think he's going to give you special treatment because of that.
He did. He did. He 100% did. I mean, think about it. Let's be real. Okay. Dawson.
Are there a lot of
Georgia.
Mexicans in Dawson?
No. You're probably the only Spanish-speaking customer he'll have this year. Unless one of his coworkers comes in. You kidding?
Yeah.
There weren't even any black people in there.
There weren't.
It was white as fuck.
Wait. No, there were some Latinos when we came inside and sat down.
Okay.
The two dudes that were standing right in front of us, leaning up against the wall, they were Latinos.
If you say so.
I don't think they were Mexican, but they were Latinos.
Well, neither are you. So,
I mean,
oh boy.
Right. I want to go back. Like I thought about going back this weekend again because I really
Don't go
liked it.
without me.
Going back last weekend when we were here.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really liked it.
It was great.
If I go without you, I'm going without you. You're going on a cruise without me, so
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I'll probably eat a burrito.
On the cruise?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll have burritos.
They
Maybe.
probably will. Yeah.
I don't remember anything about cruise food. The only thing I remember is us going to the soft serve ice cream machine over and over and over. But I was 12, so
Yeah, just make sure
priorities were different then.
Just make sure you use your hand sanitizer all the time and all that. You're gonna
I hope I don't get COVID.
You probably won't. And if you do, good, because that means I don't have to go to the office anymore.
Oh my gosh.
Go give Mickey some COVID. He'll enjoy it.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah. So, Gorbage for Mama Rita's. Can't wait to fucking go. That it's crazy because we started eating and I'm like, holy fuck.
This has been sitting here the entire time.
This is the best
we've
food
lived here
in all of fucking Dawson. In all of this side of where we live.
Granted, that's really not saying a lot because there's not much to eat in Dawson. You got Dairy Queen, McDonald's, Jack's,
Subway
Anjo's, Subway, Pizza Hut,
Pizza
and
Hut.
Mama Rita's. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, and the Hardee's.
And the Hardee's. Surprised that I haven't gone to the Hardee's yet.
I am too. There's also the 3 Squares at the truck stop.
Could go to 3 Squares this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no. It's so surprising that is like the best food, and it's like the best food by like miles and miles from everywhere else in the town. Like even the other Mexican place, it's like
it's awful.
It
was very mediocre.
Doesn't even compare. Mm-mm. Nowhere near. So, all right. So that's it for this week's episode of A Novel Console. I think you've been muted this entire time.
No, I'm not muted.
No? You look really low.
Maybe I'm just being quiet, or I got my head turned the wrong way.
Oh, well. All right. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone, Carradine?
Goodbye, everyone.
Carradine.
Carradine.
Goodbye, everyone.